No YouTube.
So 35 minutes is on that timer.
Okay.
Does that make it 35? It's going to go
Just before, probably about
Is it
30.
on YouTube?
No. Not that I can see. Yeah. Can't see it anywhere. It doesn't have the light.
That's annoying, but I don't know.
Cheers. That was quick.
No view.
Hi everyone, welcome to live tarot readings with me, Mindy. I am jumping on just to share some insights, and I thought it might be nice to lay out the cards and have a little look. Now with this live, I am taking requests for readings. I'm going to be on for about 30 minutes or so. But before I do that, I just want to start doing a little bit of a shuffle of the cards and see what insights we can get collectively for the coming week. So energy-wise, there's been a lot of shifts. It's been pretty big energy. So we had a full moon in Aquarius this past week. And let me just say that the full moon was quite a doozy. And felt the energy of that quite strongly myself. Lots of people kind of getting in contact, and even from a client perspective, there was a lot of energy around. So it was very interesting. I think that the full moon amplifies anything that people are struggling with sometimes. And Aquarius is all about technology. It's all about the mind, living in the mind. It can be about expansive energy. So it's one of those star signs that kind of amplifies that thought, that communication, that technology stuff, but also the kind of far-reaching things that people start to think about. All right, so I kind of want to get an idea of what's to come this week. So I'm going to do a 3-card spread just to kind of get the energy rolling. And so I'm just throwing that together. So I've just cut the cards after shuffling because I always like to spread the energy through. And we're going to be reading from left to right, and that's going to give us an indication as to what kind of things we can expect. So as a reader, I don't often get big things coming up through my cards unless there is something very important to be known. But at the moment I've got, some messages basically. So what it's telling me is that there is going to be some demand of energy from me. So the wands is all about energy. So I always look to the theme of a reading, and I've got 2 wand cards out of 3, and wands are all about fire and energy. And so what it's saying to me, especially with the 10 of wands as the outcome here, is that there is a big kind of surge of energy going on at the moment, and requests for that. So, having all of that kind of being pulled, being asked to step forward, being able to bring skill sets, being able to bring energy towards something. So it can be a bit of an arduous card, the 10 of wands. And so with 2 pages there, it's telling me that there's going to be a lot of messaging, a lot of communication, a lot of people kind of asking things. And that has been the theme already. So leading into the weekend, there's been, clients coming out of the woodwork who I haven't seen for a long time, who are jumping on and asking general questions. That's fine. But I am trying to kind of balance my energy with that. So trying to kind of set healthy boundaries, trying to kind of help where I can, but keeping it, fair, and keeping the exchange rational as well, which is always a bit tricky when you work in holistic medicine, because you often have some solutions for people. You have, ways they might be able to navigate things, and you do genuinely want to help. But again, my energy needs to be refined and my energy needs to be protected. So I am still working through trying to balance that as well. So I'm going to do another spread, and this time I'm going to ask about the themes of life and what kind of things this month of August, because we have just started a new month, might bring, because August is all about, you know, the last month of winter here in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's a little bit more of a look forward to spring type energy, which can be a really, really good one. And I think that that might be a very positive thing to do, is just to kind of get some clarity around what's going to be happening there as well. Maybe just click Facebook and see if the chat is only doing that.
No, it does matter.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Ask them to read.
Yeah, so as I said before, if anybody would like a reading, just jump in the chat. I can't kind of just visualize who's watching. I need to see comments to be able to read for you. All right, so I'm just shuffling the cards. I'm doing it a little bit carefully under the camera because my setup's a little bit tight in my hands, so I don't want to knock anything flying. So that's why it's looking a little bit like I'm looking a bit awkward, I guess. So I'm going to ask the question and set the intention in my mind. Hi, Rachel, no worries at all. I will lay the cards out for you as soon as I've done this intention. Okay, so we are vibing what is to come for August and some clarity around what actions can I take. So what actions and what clarity can you show me for August? All right, so this is obviously what's going on in the background. Energy. Okay. Well, that is interesting. So the devil often represents frivolous energy, playful energy. It can also represent dark energy, as we can see. So the sky behind the representation of the devil in the tarot is black. So the devil often goes back to Saturn and Capricorn as well. So it governs things like time. And so I think the devil is saying that in the background there is all of those powers that be working in governments, doing their thing, you know, orchestrating their darkness no matter what we're trying to do here. That doesn't make it okay. That doesn't make it not affect us. What it does say is that despite that going on through the month of August, the Ace of Wands is calling action. It's calling to energy. It's asking us to step into our power. So I see that as a very strong message, as, you know, beginning our things, doing our goals, doing the things that we should always be focused on despite this, not letting this stop us from moving into, you know, achievement and striving for things that we should be doing. The other message with the cups, so cups are about water and emotion. Four of Cups is about not ignoring those wonderful opportunities that are being presented to us. So personally, it's about looking at those and discerning them without ignoring them. So looking at what might be presented, because often when we manifest or bring stuff into fruition, it gets offered to us in the weirdest way. So I think that that's interesting that we have an offering coming, and it's telling me that this could be a chance for expansion or for energy being propelled in the right direction. Okay, so that's a very positive thing. All right, Rachel, let's have a look for you and see what the cards have to say today. If you have a question, pop it in the chat. If you'd like to keep it general, that's fine. I'll just generally read for you. That's no problem at all. But I'm going to be focusing. I'm just looking at your name and I'm feeling your energy. And I'm just going to be focusing on that while I shuffle the cards, because energy transcends space and time. And thankfully, we can read from anywhere. The tarot is our medium. Our energy is shared. Okay. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right. And I like to wait until the cards kind of feel warm in my hand, and that's when I like to spread them out for the person I'm reading for. Okay. All right, Rachel. Let's pop those cards and spread out your energy. Okay. And then we pop them back any way that we feel we need to. Okay, so we've spread the energy through the deck and we're going to see what comes for you, Rachel. Let's have a look. Okay, what I'm going to say first, Rachel, is that I feel like you have big decisions that you're making at the moment. So that is directing me to your mind and where it's at the moment. I feel like there's a lot going on for you. And I say that because the Seven of Cups is right at the center of the reading for you. And cups are all about kind of our emotional connection and our love and our discernment and all of those kind of things. But it's also about what we feel or what we're driven towards. Now, I think that you've got a few things that you need to decide or ask questions about. So I think that in your mind, you've got lots of different ways that you can go in terms of deciding something for yourself. I think that there's lots of barriers. Unfortunately, I think that there's people demanding your energy. I have a King of Swords over here. So perhaps a partner or somebody in your life, a male in your life who is, you know, maybe the focus has been on him more recently and things, you know, have been around what he needs to do or that he wants to focus on. So I would say that pulling back your energy and giving yourself the ability to do some things for yourself that make sense, that you really have always wanted to do, giving yourself permission despite any kind of resistance or somebody coming in and telling you that it's not okay, and not necessarily that you're not allowed to maybe, but that, you know, you pulling back and taking time for yourself is not the normal way things are done. So I would say that male energy in your life is very demanding. I feel like there's a lot of stress around this particular person. There could be something going on for them as well where they're quite busy and you know, their priorities lie in that sense, not necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to say that I think it takes a lot of your strength, and this is the Major Arcana card here. So remember, in the tarot, Major Arcana is always the bigger energy of a reading, and so it's telling me that you pull from a well all the time. You are always trying to pull from the depths to try to get everything managed, and you do amazingly well. I do feel that you handle stress very well, probably too well, and that's why it feels like you've got so much going on all the time. And I feel when I look at this reading, the energy that I'm getting, I do feel in the background this like overwhelm and this feeling of like fatigue and just like this, I don't know if I'm going to get it all done type energy, but the strength card is telling me you will. You've just got to start really focusing on your own needs a little bit more. And that means it can be little things like, you know, pulling back and going for a walk. If you want to go for a walk, it's like giving yourself time to just be you and allowing yourself to do those indulgent things sometimes. It's okay for you to go and have a little bit of time to yourself. I know it can be very tricky when there are the demands of others. I would also say that there's somehow the energy of this male in your life has been woven into a priority of his needs being almost not higher than yours, but it's made to feel that way. His energy is very commanding, is what I would say. So the strength that you've endured to keep this going, to keep everything held up, has been phenomenal. Like, you've really got that. But I would say that you do have lots more options than you think. And I would say that you need to come back to yourself and trust your instincts and really go for that. If there's something that you're being pulled towards doing for you and you feel a bit worried about being selfish or you're a bit concerned about that, I would try not to let that be the focus. I would try to really just think, well, no, this is something that I'm being called to do, and really start to put those things in place despite maybe any backlash or anything like that as well, because you deserve to have your needs met as well. But I would also say that there may be, and I'm just going to throw this out there for you, and if this doesn't resonate, sorry, but I'm really picking this up, that there may be a little bit of manipulation going on from a male in your life as well. And so that can mean that there is that pull on your energy where you feel like, oh, there's obligation here, you know, there's a need here that I'm being called to do all the time, and it's a bit exhausting. So you're allowed to pull back and put some boundaries in place is what I'm getting there too. I hope that's resonated with you, Rachel, but I do think it's always about, you know, when we look at the cards and we look at the spiritual energy, it's always about your needs and it's always about you. So when I do a tarot reading, it's not about what everybody else's needs are and everything else. It's about what's right for you and what the universe is calling you to do right now. And that is to put yourself first for a little while. So not a bad message, just one that I think you'll struggle with a little bit with all the demands that are placed on you. Yeah, so sometimes in the tarot when I'm reading for people, I often get the feeling come first before I actually look at the meanings of the cards. And I just felt this sudden surge of overwhelm for Rachel, like for this, like, oh, there's so much going on. But I feel like you managed that quite well, so that's good. No, you're welcome, absolutely. So what I might do to close up, I think it's a little bit quiet in here. We are testing some new gear, so there are a few streams that haven't gone out necessarily. So we've got, you know, a YouTube link that probably hasn't gone out anywhere. So we're just testing a few things out. Hopefully it'll be a little bit vibrant next time. But I might just get my hubby to do a shuffle because he hasn't done one for a while. And I'll read for him and then I'll close up if we don't get any more people coming in. So Matt's going to do a shuffle of the cards and we're going to have a look and we're going to see what comes out. So this obviously is my Mindy Naturopath channel, and I'm going to be doing a lot more kind of content like this. I'm going to be getting on a lot more and sharing insights from spiritual stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot more in terms of, you know, sharing some just everyday kind of things, because I feel like it's a really good way to reach everybody and connect with everybody. Okay, so Matt's just laid the cards out. Let's see what he's got coming. Oh. Well, that looks good. Looks like he's going to get some money. I don't know why, because he's not in the crypto world anymore, but no, I would say that this is more about fulfillment. So he's actually, Matt is the person behind the scenes of all of this social media stuff. So he's working, he's always behind the scenes running the show for me while I do, you know, my wonderful work. So we are intrinsically entwined with that together. So I think that he is, you know, obviously building and building and building all of this behind the scenes for our future business plans. And so it's reassuring him that there will be reward for this. There will be goals that are achieved. There will be fulfillment in this. So the pentacles are about the product as well. They're all about the information that you get from, you know, resources and output and things like that. And so I do feel that he's being reassured by the universe that despite everything being hard to do sometimes, despite the difficulties, there is reward coming. Okay, and he recognizes the cards probably a little bit more than most, because obviously I've read for a long time throughout our whole marriage, so he doesn't really get a choice. But the Page of Swords is telling him as an outcome, just expect messages to be coming in soon. Just expect information to be shared with you soon about reward for past efforts. So it's about to pay off. He's about to get, you know, that kind of, oh, thank goodness this is worth my time and energy, because sometimes it doesn't feel like it is. Sometimes it feels like a struggle. And sometimes it feels like, oh, we've done this for so long. We've been building something for so long. Where's the outcome? So we look at things like this and we, you know, the tarot will guide you and reassure you. It's a very mundane reading. There's no major arcana in this, but it is saying that, look, we're going from the 9 to the 10 and the messages of fruition are there. So hopefully that's helped you, Matt, to feel a little bit more reassured. He's sitting next to me at the moment, that, you know, all your efforts that you're putting into all of this will pay off in the future, okay? He's doing this. All right, well, I think now I'm going to sign off, but I'm going to try to jump on. There may be exceptions to this depending on my weekends and, you know, external things that I have going on. But as a rule, I'm going to try to jump on and do some readings, you know, at least fortnightly on a Sunday, but I'll try weekly. So if you are around and you are interested in navigating the tarot, or you just want to have a little look, or you just want to explore and watch in the background, jump on, have a look. I'll do a weekly reading for, you know, what's to come for the energies that be. And also, you know, if people want to jump on and have a little read for themselves as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great Sunday.